Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Chris again with another unboxing. I have my BattlBox right here. Just got it today. I'm excited to open it up. I already know what's in the box. I kind of cheated. Usually I don't look at what's in the boxes before I open them. But I know what's in this one. This is a firebox. This is Mission 17. And I'm excited to get in here and kind of dig through some of this stuff and take a look at it and give you my thoughts on some of these items. So let's go ahead and get cutting into Mission 17 from BattlBox. Take a look at what's inside. Ah, that's such a fun knife to hold. Ooh. So Mission 17 firebox. Here's your sit rep card. So yeah, being able to start fire is important in a survival situation. It's really critical. You know, keep yourself warm, dry. You know, prepare your food, boil water. The first item in the basic box is this live fire emergency fire starter. It's called the Live Fire Gear Survival Kit. Basically what you've got here is something that you can strike a ferro rod onto, or some other, you know, method of providing a spark. And when you rough up this material right here, it takes the spark really well and it can help get a little flame going. Then you can put this underneath your tinder. Say your tinder's right here, stick it underneath your tinder. Once your tinder gets going and you can get some bigger material lit on fire, you can actually snuff out the fire by sliding the lid back on, and it's reusable. Pretty cool little kit, I guess, to help you start fires with, you know, a match, a lighter, but probably best used with like a ferro rod. Next is the Zombie Tinder tin, and this is a jellied gin cotton tin. Similar to the live fire, but different. What you would do is you would take some of this cotton. This cotton has some stuff on it that helps it take. So you would take a little bit of your cotton out, kind of loosen it up, put it down on something, strike your ferro rod, grab it, stick it under your tinder, and there you go. You can, you know, get your fire going. And you know, when it's wet outside and raining, stuff like this is really nice to have. A lot of times the natural fire starters that you're gonna find in nature, like moss or pine needles, you know, stuff like that, it's gonna be wet. So having something in a storage container that is most likely gonna be dry, help get that fire started and going, is going to be really helpful and useful in a survival or even camping, hunting type situation. So something like this is nice to have. Okay, next up is the Dragonfire Tinderbox. So yeah, I don't know about this. I saw this on another review, and basically what it is a bag full of stuff that you can find on the forest floor. There's supposed to be all kinds of tinder in here. Pieces of bark, some fir needles, twigs, other fibrous stuff. All stuff that you know, you're gonna find on the ground. I don't know. I can find stuff on the ground when I need to start a fire. Granted, like I mentioned before, it might not be dry, but still, I don't know if I would ever repurchase something like this. One of my favorite natural fire starters out in the forest when I'm camping is pine needles. Pine needles just take like that. They burn hot. They burn a little bit quick, but they burn, you know, they'll help light up the smaller sticks and stuff like that to help get your main fire going. So I see the purpose of that. I just don't know if I would ever go out and buy a bag of it when I can gather it on the forest floor. Okay, so next up is the Pocket Bellows Weatherproof Fire Starting Kit. This is from Epiphany Outdoor Gear, and they've got some other products, so you know, look at that, maybe give their website a peek, and yeah, go from there. So what you have in here, you've got a couple different things. You've got the Baddest Bee fire fuses, and all of this is self-contained, which is nice. So you would take these little one of these little guys out. I guess it's a fuse of some sort, and it's got some sort of product on it. So I'm guessing you would kind of rough it up a little bit, and then you would take it, set it down, and then you have your ferro rod and your striker, and you know, strike the ferro rod to get a spark. That lights on fire. You would then move this into, you know, a nest area or underneath some tinder that you've, you know, done like a little teepee or whatever, however your method is. From there, you can take this, and this telescopes out, which is kind of cool. I kind of think this is neat. And then you can blow on it to help stoke your fire, bellow your fire. So this is kind of cool. Seems like when I'm messing with the fire, I'm down on my hands and knees kind of blowing into the fire. You get the smoke kind of rolling back at you. Something like this to where you can be a little bit further away and blow into the core of the fire might be helpful. One of the things I like about this little kit is it's self-contained. It looks like it's pretty waterproof. So you've got the fire fuses, your ferro rod, and this little tube, the bellows tube, and it all fits nicely into here. This is something that can easily be put into a backpack. You're gonna have it, and it's not gonna be heavy. It's not gonna take up a lot of space. Pretty cool little kit. I probably throw this into one of my hunting packs for when I'm out in the wilderness, you know, hunting elk and stuff. It'll be nice to have something like this in there just in case. And it's not going to take up a lot of space. It's not going to weigh a lot. The last item in the basic box are these little guitar picks, these BattlBox guitar picks. These are made with a very flammable celluloid material. You get 2 of them, and yeah, you can, you know, use it to start a fire. So I don't know if you play guitar. I don't, but still kind of cool. It looks like they're actually a fully functional guitar pick. So that wraps up the basic box. For 25 bucks, I think that's pretty decent value. There's some really cool items in here that I think are gonna be usable, that I'll enjoy trying out. That's one thing I like about BattlBox. You know, they give you some pretty cool items that, you know, you can try out. If you really like your zombie tinder, you can go on to zombietinder.com and order some more. So pretty cool. So moving on to the advanced box, there's 2 items in here. One of them is this, the Blaze Defense System Fire Suppression Device. So this is a mini fire extinguisher. I get the point, you know, you can start a fire, so having something to put a fire out with, that's pretty cool. It does stay on here, do not use on electrical fires, so keep that in mind. But this would be a good thing to have around camp in case you had, you know, really hot conditions and, you know, you had a spark go stray, or you know, something just got out of hand when you're out in the wilderness with your fire. So it's pretty lightweight, small, would fit easily into a backpack. But something like this I'll probably throw into my camping tote. I have big Rubbermaid totes that carry my various gear for my camping trips. So I'll probably throw this in one of those. I don't have a fire extinguisher in that kit right now, so it only makes sense to have it. You never know when you're gonna need one. And the other item for advanced box is another item from Zombie Tinder. This is the Pioneer Charton. You get a band to keep it held together. So you get some natural flint. I don't know if mine broke or if I just got 2 pieces. You also get some jute cord, quite a bit actually. There's quite a bit in there. And with that jute cord you can cut a little bit, kind of fray it out, and that works pretty good to take a spark. You also get a little baggie of char cloth. And there's quite a bit in here. There's quite a bit of char cloth in here. So you can use the char cloth to take a spark as well. Once you get it sparked, you know, you gotta put it into something that's dry that'll take the spark and help the flame grow. And then you wanna give it enough oxygen to get going. So then you have a striker and your flint. Okay, there's a spark. All right, I got a spark. There we go. All right, got a few sparks there. There for a while, the flint was just chipping off. These are really tiny pieces. Kind of disappointed in that. Pretty cool little kit, to be totally honest with you. And that's a skill that, you know, I'll have to work on. But now that I have a flint and steel kit, I can work on it. And that wraps up your advanced box. So advanced box, just to review, fire extinguisher and the zombie tinder Pioneer Charton. All right, so the Pro Box comes with 3 items. One of them's a freebie item, so let's just talk about that right now. Okay, this is the freebie item. It's called Utility Flame, and this is a a gel, and from what I gather, you can squeeze out a little bit of this gel, and the gel is highly flammable. Also, from what I gather, it burns pretty clear, okay? So it might not look like it's actually got a flame, but the flame burns clear. So you want to keep that in mind. But what you can do is squeeze a little bit of this out somewhere and light it up, throw your tinder all over it, and get your fire going. I would suspect that this would be a pretty good option if you had like a little drizzle going. You also get the blast match, and this is a ferro rod essentially that you can use one-handed, which is pretty cool. If you ever were injured and couldn't fully use one of your hands, and you only had one hand that was fully functional, a one-handed fire starter would be pretty handy. Let's open it up. Aha! Oh, there it goes. This is called the blast match. It stores really nice. I like that it's orange, so it's high vis. If it's in a backpack somewhere, you could see it pretty easily. It has a little loop right here for a lanyard. I don't see a lanyard that came with it. So there is, built into this little lip right here, is the metal, the striker, and then you get your ferro rod right here. Here we go. Pretty simple. So you could put something like this, the gel around it, or your char cloth, or some of your zombie tinder down, and just push right into it, and you can get a fire going that way. It's kind of plasticky, this little cover, so I'm kind of worried that might break sometime, but overall, pretty cool, pretty neat. Okay, the last item, and one that I'm super excited to mess around with, is this hunk of metal. And this is called the Fire Cone Carbon Steel Tunable Alcohol Instant Fire Starter. So, from what I've gathered, what state is that? Oregon. So this is made in Oregon, that's cool. Yeah, there's a little cutout of Oregon right here. And it says on the back, made in Portland, Oregon. That's neat. It's not made in China. I love it. So basically what you do is you take your alcohol that you would use in a cooking stove, you pour it in here, you light it up, and then you can use this device to kind of get your flame going in the right direction. You take the whole thing, put it into your fire, that's what starts your fire. You can adjust the level of fire by moving this around. There are little vents essentially right here. The more open it is, theoretically, the more oxygen is in there, and the hotter the flame will be. The other thing you can do is you can actually use this as a stove. So you can invert it, put something on here, like a little pan, a little pot, that type of thing, and it will burn up and heat up water, heat up some dehydrated food. I don't know if it'll get hot enough to cook an egg, but that's something you might want to try. So that's pretty neat, multifunctional, pretty cool tool. Once again, this is the Fire Cone Carbon Steel Tunable Alcohol Instant Fire Starter. So once again, the Pro Box, you get your fire cone, you get your gel, and you get the blast match. I think that's a pretty cool Pro Box. 2 really solid items, and then the freebie, the gel. Okay, as a Pro Plus subscriber, I get the knife of the month. Getting a new blade every month has been really cool. A lot of the knives that we've been getting in these battle boxes have been fixed blade knives. I don't typically purchase too many fixed blade knives, so getting them in the battle box has been pretty nice. I'm excited to see this one. This is from Ontario Knife Company. It is the Rat 3 with a Tech-Lock nylon sheath. And I've never held or owned or anything an Ontario Knife Company knife. So pretty excited about this. This is One of those other things I love about BattlBox is you get cool items from reputable companies. You get exposed to new things. Really like that. Okay, here's the Rat 3. Oh, that's a nice knife. It feels wonderful in the hand. The balance is pretty amazing. It has a loop if you wanted to put a lanyard on it. This is a pretty cool knife. I'm excited to have this knife. This is cool. Ontario Knife Company, the Rat 3, made in the USA. It looks like it's a full tang. Nice handle. Smooth, but has a decent texture to it. A nice size blade. This would be a great option for a hunting knife. This just looks like a good all-around survival knife. Comes with a great sheath. Yeah, I'm very pleased with this, and I'm excited to get to know it a little bit. Alright folks, that wraps it up. Mission 17 from BattlBox. I like it a lot too. And after last month's box, which I wasn't super thrilled about, last month's box was a good box, don't get me wrong. I just wasn't super excited about it because I was going to have to put in a lot of work to get to know how to use a lot of those items. And admittedly, sometimes I'm lazy. But this box is awesome. A lot of this stuff can go directly into your bug out bag, your camping kits, your backpacks for your day hikes or your long-term hikes. And it looks like really cool stuff that you can get to know. If you like it, you can go order it directly from the manufacturers. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. The only thing I'm not super thrilled about is the Dragonfire tinderbox. I don't know. It's not that great of an item, in my opinion. But I can see some use in it. Would I go buy it again? Probably not. I'm really excited about the fire cone. This is it looks like a really heavy-duty, well-made product. And I'm excited to screw around with it and mess around and see what I can do. I think it's really cool that this is from the Pacific Northwest. So that wraps up Mission 17. If you like what you see, please click the thumbs up button and subscribe. And as always, thanks for getting out west with Chris. Jeez.